I wanted to give a quick note to the people coming up. Curious about the traffic, kind of crap. That's all nonsense. The road to Ottawa is totally fine. So far, I don't know what it's going to be like later tonight or tomorrow, but it's been really fine going up, no problem. So if you're thinking about going to Ottawa, definitely get in on the game. I stopped at a gas station, and the whole way up there's, it's not packed car to car, but there's a high number of cars with flags, and there's trucks, and at the rest stop people were hugging and not wearing masks and all these different things that were really exciting. So I just wanted to quick put out that note. If you guys have any questions, I don't know if there's if I'll be able to see the comments as I'm driving, because obviously I should focus on the road, but it's pretty slow and mellow. If you guys have any questions or comments about it, let me know. I've heard some crazy estimates about how many people might be there. Right on the low end is 50,000 trucks. Some I've heard 60, 70,000 trucks going up. Now this is open to everybody, right? This isn't just a truckers thing. What they're going to do is they're going to shut down Ottawa. So normally when you have a protest, the government knows you're going to protest. It doesn't really give a shit about it. It's just basically people complaining about their circumstances, and they know how to adjust for that. The thing with the truckers is they actually have a play. They have some clout because they can shut down the whole friggin' city and the supply chain and everything like that. So rather than just looking out for themselves, they are going to shut it down until all mandates are lifted, or Justin Trudeau, whatever that's called, quits, resigns, leaves, because he sucks. He is a puppet of the World Economic Forum. That's not too hard to figure out. I think Klaus Schwab had something called this Young Leaders Program. So you got Trudeau in there, you got Macron in there, Trudeau hanging out with Soros. Trudeau, unfortunately, if people don't know this, is a pedophile. One of his best friends, if you look up Trudeau's friend, pedophile, is in jail. I believe he has 2 friends that are pedophiles in jail. He also lowered the age of, I don't even want to say it because it's so gross, but anal sex. Why would you do that? You know what I mean? Locally, he's just a sick bastard. And that's the thing that good people can't really comprehend, is how sick these people are. If you can share this YouTube, maybe to the Telegram. I can't do it while I'm driving, so make sure you're following me on Telegram, t.me/Matt Belair. There's a community as well, so you'll be able to find that as well. So go to the Telegram. I think you just click join. Let me know if that's what happens, but send this over to the Telegram, because I'm going to be sharing, some stuff from the weekend. I'm going to be doing what I can. I just want to see what it's like. Some people have talked about agent provocateurs, which what I think is going to happen is they'll probably do 1 or 2 things for optics, like they'll stage something, right? It's like a film. It's all the world's a stage. They get some cameras out, and they'll make a trucker do something, and then that's what they'll blow up in the media over and over and over again and call it, January 6th or whatever. But all the people know, the ratings on CBC and all the Canadian broadcasts are way down. I saw another video of a Canadian talking about the how Canada News is run by 6 companies. That's the States. Canada's news is run by 1 company. It's called Vox Media. So all of our news runs through 1. In the States, it might be 6, but I bet you that pigeonholes basically into 1. And what you're finding is this alternative media outlet. That's why so many people are being banned, like me, banned, shadow banned, blacklisted. My frickin' Instagram then got hacked because being shadow banned wasn't enough. So Matt.Belair is no longer me, but I did make another one. Matthew Belair _ is actually me. So hopefully you can find that. But again, Telegram is always the best. I don't know how the audio is, if somebody wants to comment on that. Hopefully it's not terrible. Hopefully my beard is not, there's a difference between car noise and beard noise. So hopefully it's not too bad. I put that in there. Man, so the hell was I talking about? I got distracted. So it's important to know. So people are catching on to what's going on, looking at the YouTube comments and things like that. But the sheep people who are following the narrative, we don't need to be concerned with them because they don't have any standing power or spine or courage or truth or anything. So all they have is basically they just project on you. What was it? Is that gaslighting? Where like, you're going to Ottawa, you're a racist. You're wearing this hat, you're a racist. You know, I saw this clip. I can't even read Twitter because it just makes me so livid. Just so friggin' absurd, these people. And I shared one with, you know, my wife, and I was like, hey, I can look at this. And, you know, this article of this, you know, black woman talking about how this is a white supremacist movement. And then, you know, I go through her thing, and a person said, you know, this comment about, you know, hey, the nicest person, I'm a Newfie. Newfies are the nicest people. My mom's a Newfie. My dad's French-Canadian. So Newfies are the nicest people in Canada. And Canada has a notorious reputation for being nice. They're the nicest people on the damn planet. So this lady goes, my parents are Newfies, and you know, I didn't have a lot of black people in my town. And then when I went to university, there were some, you know, I made some black friends and this and that. And she was like the nicest, sweetest, genuine comment. This woman just tears her apart, calling her parents racist, and they didn't know it, and she's inherent racist. And then the girl responds like, whoa, what the hell? I was like just trying to express like a real question, a genuine concern. Like, what is this? Like, and then the woman responds back. She's like, you know, you got to understand that the white people are going to be really protective when you call them a racist, to call them out for what they are. It's like the most absurd thing. So I showed this to my partner, and she goes, this is all the Ontario School Board. They're all like this. I sent some stuff to my buddy, and I was like, you know, I told him about how in our schools that I knew this was going on for a bit, but one of our friends is a kindergarten substitute teacher, or grade 1 or grade 2. And he says, you know, they have drag queen story hour. And I told that to my friend, and I was like, and he thought it was funny. I was like, dude, that's not funny. Your kids are in school. I was like, the reason that they're doing that is to basically distort the minds of the kids and promote pedophilia and all kinds of really weird shit. It's not a positive thing. It's actually a grooming tactic. And then he's like, oh, yeah. And I was like, yeah. I was like, if you look at, and then there was another school board meeting in Ontario where they have this book that basically shows, you know, it's a story about this young girl that wants to be a boy or vice versa, and she decides to go on hormone blockers and become a boy. And this is a very short story about how easy and simple it is to change your gender. This is available for kids who are kindergarten to grade 6, and any of the kids can take it out, and they promote it and they use that one. These are kindergarten to grade 6 kids, you know? And so no wonder we have all this confusion going on, right? In Canada, there's like now non-binary. I shared some stuff on Instagram. It's totally crazy. So this is in the school system right now. It's in the school system in the States. What I've known for a long time, even when I was a teenager, and I started to realize that I needed to unlearn everything that they told me. And, you know, I started to educate myself. I never wanted to go to, I go to the library and find my own books. And then when I was finally done college, I was just reading ferociously. It's like, there's so much good stuff at the library. I could learn so many things I'm actually interested in. And so I got really excited and started to do those things. But I knew right away, I was like, oh, this school is a brainwash system. It's a Prussian system, so it's designed for you to be an order follower, to obey, right? And if I think about my school, it's like, you don't question, the authority knows, whether it's the teacher or the police officer or the lawyer or the doctor, you don't know anything. Well, now, guess what? Our doctors and nurses have become, they're administering this thing, and if they don't know what it's doing and the potential harm, ignorance is no excuse, right? So we already have the data. They should have figured this out, but they had their own brainwashing with their schools, thinking that they're doing the right thing. And so they just started to follow orders, because if they spoke up, they get fired, you get gagged. But that's still no reason not to have any spine. So to go back on where I lost my train of thought, is like, even if there's agent provocateurs or whatever the case is moving forward, all of these people have no spine, because they're not standing in the truth. They're not defending anything. They don't know. They're confused and disoriented. They're being led, where the people in truth, we're rooted into the ground, into the earth, into spirituality. That is a strong, strong force. That is a totally different energy, because you could stop. And we're also not trying to oppress you. We're not trying to tell you to stay at home, to wear 10 masks, to stick a needle in your arm from a company like, well, I've done research and found out that this company is corrupt and it doesn't prevent you from getting it sprayed. Well, you got to take it anyway, and I'm not listening to your nonsense. What kind of logic is that, you moron? Like, geez, it's just so unbelievable. So this truckers thing is phenomenal. It's the first time I've been proud to be Canadian in 2 years. My friends growing up, you're boys, and you roughhouse and you fight and you talk about all these different things, and you're kind of like doing the whole prove your manhood thing and beat up your buddy or whatever the case is and compete. And then we just have all these sheep men, all of these cowards with no spine. Like, you want to support the truckers. I said, I shared a few things, like take off your mask. So to take off your mask, just start somewhere small, go into a tiny store. They're just going to ask you to wear a mask. People don't even ask me anymore. They don't even say anything. Well, actually, I just had that Tim Hortons there with this kid who's wearing 2 masks. And I was like, oh, do they make you wear 2 masks because I'm not wearing one? He's like, no, I just do. Like, that's so sad. That's so sad that this young man, whether he thinks he's doing it for virtue reasons, which is beautiful if he's got a big heart like that, that's how they get good people, right? And that's what kind of pisses me off about this quite a bit, is you've got these good-hearted people that they're using this against you, because you're kind and you don't want to harm other people. And so that's why you're doing it. But when we stand in the truth, it's like, okay, you're going to go in there. Maybe someone will ask you, just tell them you're exempt, or just say, decline the offer. No, thank you. Just say no, thank you. That's it. Start a small store and then start doing it in other places. The law says, right, it's right on the front door that masks are mandatory unless you have an exemption. Just say that. Your exemption could be God breathed life into man, or I get anxiety, or I can't breathe with the mask on because you're human. So if you want to support these guys, share this far and wide. Start speaking the truth. Stop being afraid of the gaslighting. Yes, it sucks. All they're going to do is call you a racist Trump supporter. You'll get used to it. And so just, again, start small, start where you are. You could donate to them on GoFundMe. I heard it's up to $7 million. You could share on social media, and for the first time, come out of the closet and share, maybe something not so crazy. Maybe share like Robert Kennedy has always got really great sourced material. You could source Dr. David Martin has got just brilliant stuff. And he just released, go to his website, Dr. David Martin. I think it's David Martin's World or something else like that, but you'll find it. Now for the American people, for the American men and women, he's actually got a lawsuit going with everybody named, all done up, and all you got to do is send it to your attorney generals. So I also recommend that people really understand the law. I did a law summit called the Choose Freedom Law Summit with Beth Martins, and I'm still learning. I know more than I did. It's still confusing, but there are things you could do. So even just with the basic notice of liability, there's groups that help you go through that. And we know it works because my friend works at the Peel Toronto board, and he said that, people were sending these notices of liability registered mail, and they were refusing to pick them up. That means they don't want to pick them up because it has weight, and you don't need to know anything. We have all the documents laid up for you. What we need to do is we need to get together, like what's happening now, organize, whether it's email or groups or things, like even your own town, right? Don't try to fix anyone else's town. Find all your tribe in your town. Find 10 people. That's it. 5 to 10 people. If you don't go to church, maybe try church, because church is community. That's all it is. That's what David Lombier said. So maybe you don't believe everything that they're saying, but if you're like-minded and they like freedom and they believe in basically freedom, it's like, okay, let's organize here. And you're seeing the fraud of a lot of the churches. So, I know about all the negativity with it, but I do, know about some of the positivity about having that community together. So that's a way you can get together, our youth programs or whatever. Get 10 people together and then send that notice of liability or show up at the public forums. I forget what it is. It's like, so in Toronto, and I think it's other ones, you have this like parental advisory board or something, and they kind of make all the decisions for kids. You can show up on those publicly, and that's where I was talking about that book where they're putting in that it's so telling kids it's so easy to switch your gender and it's not a problem. You can just go ahead and do it. Like basically that's what the book kind of means. There's a teacher that raised a concern about that, and they basically banned her from the meeting immediately, calling it hate speech. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, this is crazy. What kind of crazy world are we in? What kind of, you can't get a tattoo in Canada. I was a kid, some of my friends want to get tattoos. You would need parental consent unless you're under 18. So, but then you can change your, you can do irreversible body modification. You have no idea. I didn't know what I wanted when I was a teenager. I was a freaking idiot. Still barely know what's going on, and I'm 37. I have no idea what's going on. I'll be 50 and be like, man, you were an idiot when you were 37. I was an idiot when I was a teenager. You don't know anything. Make a crazy life decision like that. So the problem is they're promoting it, and that's the issue. If you're an adult and you decide whatever you decide, great, but you need to go through that developmental phase of being awkward and going through all that yucky feeling of high school, of not feeling cool, of not being afraid, of maybe getting bullied or maybe being the bully. Who knows? High school is nuts. So, you don't want to make these massive decisions that can change the rest of your life. You want to wait till you can. It's like telling a kid to have a career at 18. When I look at these 18-year-olds, even in universities, you guys are kids. You don't know what the hell you want, Why are you trying to force them into university? They haven't even experienced any kind of life yet. They have no idea what they want or what they want to do, let alone to friggin' make a life-changing decision like that. So anyway, they're promoting crazy stuff like this. So the truckers thing is super positive in the sense people finally pushing back, and they actually have a card in the deck. It's all the media has is just baloney propaganda, but stand up to anyone because they're not based in truth. Trust yourself. And even if you feel like you're alone, you're the one person probably making sense, because if they give you a better argument, well, then you had some learning, and that's great. So you experience some learning. And if they don't, and they start spitting propaganda, you can be more, that has no evidence or meaning, then you can be more certain that you're in alignment with the truth. So that's wonderful. That's a great gift. So for the Canadians, I don't know where the Quebecers are at, if they're planning on coming. I haven't seen anything. So if anybody can get out the word to the Quebecers, that would be great to see them come up, because they're curfew at 10 p.m. just getting smoked over there. And what I really enjoy about Quebec is their fiery spirit. My dad is French Canadian, and he has got a fiery spirit. That's in me too. So I'm kind of like a mix of my mom and my dad, where I'm like my dad, where I'm like very fiery, and when you do something wrong, my initial reaction is like a very fiery one, like I might want to beat the crap out of you. But my mom is the sweetest ever, and so she taught me to take a space and use my words, direct my energy. And so try to do that, because it's not, should never be violent, unless you're defending yourself. Defend yourself as ferociously as you want. And that's what we have to do here. This is what this whole thing is about, is trying to peacefully end this harm that's happening. And make no mistake, these mandates, and this isn't the government though, this is the big thing though. The government isn't doing this. This is a tough pill for people to swallow. The government isn't doing this. The boss isn't doing this. The school board isn't doing this. You are doing this by complying. It is the principals, it is the parents that don't go in and say, you're not masking my kid, not taking full accountability for what's going on. They got in the States, they said they're not going to put needles in there, and then all of a sudden there's the needles in there. So we need massive responsibility. So the government they made a mandate, a suggestion, and all these business owners are following it. You need to hold them. It's because it's a pass a liability thing where nobody wants the liability for what they're doing, because the needle manufacturers don't have it, right? Everybody can be harmed and they get no liability. So, got to understand that people are doing this. Principals, business owners, now they're getting coerced and things like that. Canada flag, Canada flag, Canada flag. Frig yeah. So that's what we got to understand. So you as a parent need to go to your principal, go to your school board, go to those parental meetings. We've all been pushed by the side, and this agenda has come in while we were sleeping, and it's just gone to total insanity. So now it's a nice opportunity for all of us to get involved and say, you know what, we are not creating that. And we're going to have to deal with nonsense. So that's the thing. They're going to keep oppressing us and creating these crazy mandates until good people say, stop.